everybody, and welcome to the introduction video for the Perk It, Twerk It and Work It Legs, Bums and Tums challenge. We are running this challenge in the Female Health, Fitness, Strength for Beginners and Beyond Facebook group. So if you aren't in there, then find the link to it below. You can sign up to this challenge whenever you want. I am going to go over some important information that's going to help you get the most success out of this challenge. This challenge is 30 days long and you can make some incredible changes to your life in 30 days, and I'm really excited for you to do it. I'm going to be talking about measuring success, goal setting, and also accountability and motivation. Let's talk about measuring success. So legs, bums and tums has been around for a long time. I would say over 20 plus years. Legs, bums and tums has been something that women have been encouraged to work on. So whether that is building a booty, which has become extremely popular probably in the last 5 or 6 years, you'll see TikTok, Instagram, a lot of the fitness influencers about building that butt up, or whether it's about sorting out that mum tum. Legs, your legs might be holding onto a little bit more weight. A lot of women do hold fat on legs and the bottom, and this is where they want to create a bit of shape around them. That is an aesthetic goal, and that's completely fine. I will be talking about how you can get the most success out of how you look in terms of goal setting, but there's also a lot of benefits to your body from outside of the way that you look by completing this challenge. Let's talk about measuring success to start off with. When we're talking about aesthetics, we want to think about how we look. I really encourage you guys to take a photograph. Take a picture of your face, your whole body, your back. One of the questions that I got from Stephanie, would you recommend we take the before images utilizing the 𝗵360 app? I don't know too much about this app, but I do believe that this app tries to tell you what your body fat percentage is. If you want to, give it a go. I'd be interested to see if you do follow what I am talking about during this intro, if you do follow it, especially the nutrition, if you're looking at the fat loss side of things. I'd be really interested to see what your improvements are from day 1 to day 30. So give it a go. I know that it won't be accurate. Pretty much the only way that you can get some accurate view on your body fat percentage is by going to get a real scan done, and this isn't standing on the scales at the gym or the body fat scanners that some people take along to gyms. It's the going to a university essentially and getting yourself done in a proper body scanner. Another way to get your body fat percentage done is through calipers. So it takes like a bit of your skin and it tells you how much fat you've got in that particular area. But what I would say is I wouldn't encourage you to really focus on body fat or the weight on the scales. Those two things aren't very accurate in terms of tracking, especially for women. I would say if you do want to weigh yourself or you do want to use the 𝗵360 app, if we're thinking about the same one anyway, I would recommend that you do your 𝗵360 app, do your pictures, that kind of thing at the start, your weight, weigh yourself at the start. If you want to do it weekly, do it at the same time, same day, every single week you can. But what you will see a difference in is if you take it from day 1 to day 30. But I would recommend photographs. Photographs are so important. So measuring success is taking photographs of yourself. You don't have to use a fancy app. You can just take a photograph, pop it into a folder, send yourself the email if you don't want to lose the photographs so that you've got them. Then set yourself a reminder for the 30 days and take those photographs again, and do a side-by-side comparison. In Scrap the Scales, the ladies in there, they upload their photographs into my app, and no one else sees them. It's just for their eyes only. If people want me to look at them, then I can, because people are quite judgmental of themselves. It allows me to come in from a third party and go, hey, look at the change here. One thing I do really want you to do is take a picture of your face. The reason for this is inflammation can really go down, especially if you're going to follow my nutrition advice, which I will talk about in a second. So measuring success, please take photographs, whether it is from an aesthetic perspective or not. It's just nice to see the changes in your body. Another way of measuring success is literally taking measurements from around your body. So getting yourself a measuring tape and taking the key measurements. This could be around your bust, around your waist, around your hips, around your bum, because it's a challenge. If you are looking at fat loss generally, you will see it from other places, so you might want to take it from around your arm, around your thigh, but remember, take it from the same place. In Scrap the Skills, we take these measurements too, and I don't look at them. It's for people's eyes only, but if they want me to look at them, I can. What I also would like to encourage you to do is take some things that are outside of measuring your body and how you look. I want you to measure how you feel. So I want you to measure how you're feeling from an energy perspective, from a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being loads of energy, 1 being super low. Where are you today? Where are you in a week's time? Where are you 2 weeks' time? And let's see where you are at the end of 30 days, 30 weeks. You'll be even better if you follow these. End of 30 days, how are you feeling? Clothing? If you have a favorite pair of jeans or a dress or something, try that on now. Maybe take a picture of yourself in it, write down how you feel in it, and then in 30 days time, see how you feel again. Pain is a big one, and this is going to be something I'm going to talk about again in terms of non-aesthetic goals around this challenge. But if you are in pain with your hips, your back, whatever it might be, your knees, whatever it might be, make a note of it. And again, do a number, so 1 to 5 of how you're feeling, but also write down how you're feeling too. So those are a few ways of measuring success. If you have other ways of measuring success in terms of your health, in terms of aesthetics, in terms of how you're looking, in terms of anything, pop them below. I'd be really interested to know how you're feeling right now. And then in 30 days time, remeasure them. If you want to share things below in the comments, then please do that as well. That's measuring success. Let's talk about goals. So we're looking at goals. I've already mentioned the aesthetic one, legs, bums and tums, building a booty, that kind of thing is super popular. Women are kind of driven, it's men as well, but we're a women's group, so let's talk about women. Women have been driven by years and years and years of we need to look good, we need to look good, we need to change our appearance. And talking the men and women thing, you know, like women wear makeup, they self-tan, whatever it might be, it's all about improving appearance. So if that's where you're driven, if that's how your brain is wired, I get it. I mean, everybody pretty much is. So if that's going to be your way of working, then you will need to eat in a certain way, which I'll talk about nutrition in a second in terms of if you're looking at the fat loss side of things, if you're looking at building a booty, there's different approaches that we want to go at. If that's what's driving you, that's your goal, you're like, I want to look better, I want to build a booty. Zara is really interested in building a booty, trying to reduce her waist size, maybe improving the way that she looks so that she can fit really nicely into her wedding dress. And that's a great goal to have, that's a great driver. So what I want you to think about is what is going to drive you to stay on track these next 30 days. Is it something like fitting into a special a dress for an occasion? Or is it something different? If it is something different that's got nothing to do with how you look, that's incredible. So I want to talk about the benefits of this challenge that sit outside aesthetics, which might encourage you to feel like you're going to want to stay on track in that respect. So it might be pain. So from a legs, bums and tums perspective, a lot of these exercises that I'm prescribing over the next 30 days will help you out with your mobility of your hips. It will improve your muscles, it will improve your strength, which can reduce a lot of pain. Reducing the pain of your knees, reducing the pain of your hips, your back. If you're doing these exercises correctly, really good driver for you to get going with this 30-day challenge. I have some other goals in mind too. So for example, if you're wanting to get stronger, then this will help you get stronger. If you are, for example, a runner and you've not really done much strength training, you might find that if you do a bit of strength training, it's actually going to improve your performance. It's definitely proven if you do a bit of strengthening of your muscles, particularly into your legs, you will improve your performance. So there's some other things there. Another great one is if you are sat on your butt all day at a desk, which a lot of us do, and then we'll come home and we'll be on our phones or we'll be watching the TV, you will find that your posture, and if this isn't the posture from the top where we're hunched over, your posture in terms of your hips is a bit out of whack. And by doing this challenge, you will improve your posture, which again, going back to the pain perspective, you get sciatica or whatever it might be from sitting down for long periods of time. This will help you out. So we have talked about goal setting. We have talked about the motivation, the driver for you. I'm going to talk about nutrition. And you might be thinking, well, this is an exercise challenge. But this is one of the most important things that you can be doing to get success, especially if you're looking from a fat loss perspective, but also from building muscle. You need to have the right nutrition to be able to stay on track. If you are looking to improve your health, improve your energy, improve your mental health, improve whatever it is, nutrition again is going to help you out. The number one thing that I want people to be working on, and this is everybody, is to reduce your processed foods. If you are looking to improve appearance, you will find if you reduce your processed foods, you are going to make a big difference in your appearance. I don't want you to cut them completely out though. So I can talk about myself. I have actually been reducing my fat from a health perspective from the start of this year to now. So that's 2 months. I have lost around about 6 kg, which is about 13 pounds in 2 months. A lot of that is in inflammation because I personally have an autoimmune condition, so that my inflammation goes whoop-oo, straight up very quickly, but everyone does get inflamed, especially when they're eating processed foods. I will preface though that I have not been at 100%, not 100% in terms of whole foods. So just this week I have had a glass of wine, I have had a slice of apple pie, and I have had a scone. There's probably been something else that I've eaten from a process perspective in there as well. But the rest of the week I have been really great in terms of nourishing my body with the whole foods and keeping the processed foods to a minimum. And what I want to do is I want to set the goal that we have in Scrap the Skills at the 80-20 rule. So 80-20 is 80% of your food comes from whole foods, and then 20% is your processed foods. If you're not there, if you're nowhere near there yet, I don't want you to restrict yourself completely. I want you to have a focus getting towards that. So for example, if you're the opposite way around, you might be getting 20% whole foods and the rest of your diet, 80% of your diet is from processed foods. I want you to focus on reducing your processed foods to 70%. And then maybe the following week reduce it to 60, then 50, and then maybe at the end of the 30 days you might be more of a balance of 40-60. It's still not 80-20, but that's completely fine. We want to work towards that. You'll still be reducing your inflammation, you'll still be improving your health, and it will help you in terms of that fat loss goal that you might have. You're currently around about that level, your diet is pretty terrible. I would say focus on that. Do not confuse yourself with anything else. Don't focus on counting calories. If you are wanting to count calories, then I'll talk about that in a second. Steps. If you are already pretty good from the 80-20 rule perspective, you might be even better. You're eating pretty much a whole food diet. It might be around the balance of food that you're eating that might not be quite right in terms of your macronutrients. Protein is a building block for us. We need to eat protein. It's not all about bodybuilding. It's not all about building muscle in the gym. It's not about necking those protein shakes. You can get your protein from your food. And this is where the plate method comes in. And this is also where we can make sure that we're focusing on getting carbohydrates into our diet as well, which is so important too. I like to encourage people to follow the plate method, and again, this is what we do in our Scrap the Skills membership. The ladies are focusing on the plate method. This method is used in the healthcare system. It's very, very well researched, and it's safe for diabetics, and this is why I like it. But it's really good for balancing blood sugar out, which does help regulate a lot of things in our bodies, and it does really, really help with healing our bodies as well. So protein, so important. It's so good for our skin, it's so good for healing our organs, and it's really good for ensuring that we are building the muscle that we need. Muscle is really important for women. We start to reduce our bone density From the age of 30 to 35, it starts to decrease. Once you hit perimenopause, the estrogen levels go and again the bone density starts to drop off even more. Eating protein will help you build your bone density up as long as you're doing resistance training with it as well. Resistance training means doing any kind of form of strength training to help build that muscle but also maintain your bone density levels. And protein helps along that journey. I don't mean to say that you have to drink a protein shake or supplement your protein. You can get it from your diet. If you eat 3 plates a day, with 25% of your plate being from a protein source, you will get to your minimum protein allowance pretty easily, especially if this isn't a plant-based protein source. If you are vegan or vegetarian, you might need to supplement your protein, which is completely fine. But if you are a meat eater, then you should be fine with your protein being 25% on your plate. But if you are already going to the gym quite a lot, or you are planning on upping your strength training this month during the 30-day challenge, then you might need to add an extra protein source in around your 3 plates. And what this might look like is having an extra protein shake throughout the day. If you want to, you can eat like a bit of meat or whatever it might be, but just having a snack that is high in protein will be beneficial for you. The thing I want to talk about is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are really important for us. I am not a big believer in low carbohydrate diets. Not going to get into that now, but I am a big believer in carbohydrates. They're in the world for a reason, and we do need to eat carbs. Your carbohydrates should sit for 25% of your plate though. What we find that in a lot of balances of plates that people can sit around about 50% of your plate is from a carbohydrate source. So this is why we want to reduce your carbohydrate to around about 25% of your plate. This will enable that your body is still getting enough energy from the carbohydrates. Your muscles are still taking in the carbohydrates so that they can be utilized during your exercise, but you will also not be overeating on your carbohydrates, which then usually are stored as fat in the body. So 25% of your plate comes from carbohydrate source, and this looks like your rice, your pasta, your bread, the carbs that you know about. If you're already pretty good from that perspective and you're not seeing results, then what I want you to do is I want you to add root vegetables into your carbohydrate perspective as well. So this could look like your carrots, turnips, sweet potatoes, anything that is a root vegetable. Add that into your carbohydrate source as well, so that sits within your 25%. If you're not already following the plate method, you're not really following any kind of principle, then don't worry about the root veggies sitting in there. Just stick to your white carbohydrates in that area. And then 50% of your plate, so this is the last 50%, is from your vegetables. Any vegetables you want to put in there. You can sprinkle some fruit in there as well if you like, but veggies are one of the most important things. So I would prefer you to get your vegetables in there, but if you are kind of a fruity type of person, that can be that too. And that's how you fill out your plate. Don't worry, your plate doesn't need to look aesthetically like that. You could have a bowl of Greek yogurt, protein. You could add in some berries, which are going to be your fruits. And then you could add in a sprinkle of granola, which would be kind of about that size, into your yogurt. And that could be a breakfast, or it could be a snack, or your lunch, or wherever you want to eat it. Doesn't matter. You can eat your meals whenever you want. You don't have to eat toast for breakfast. It's a very Western way of thinking, is eating a big carbohydrate toast or cereal for breakfast. You don't have to do that. But yeah, that's how you can set yourself up for success in terms of nutrition. So if you are wanting to build muscle, and some people in this group might be wanting to build muscle. Some people in this group are like, yeah, well, I'm here for fat loss, but I do want to build a booty. Building a booty is building muscle. So if you want to focus on that, you are going to have to eat in surplus, or at least eat your enough protein while you're trying to drop fat to be able to build that muscle. So please follow the plate method if you're wanting to build muscle, and then add that extra protein source in. So you will have to have 4 kind of protein sources a day to enable you to build that muscle. And if you are someone who is looking to build muscle, you're not interested in fat loss at all, then I want you to switch out your plate method to look a little bit differently. Your plate method will look like 1/3 of your plate is protein, 1/3 of your plate is carbohydrates, and 1/3 of your plate is vegetables. So it's pretty simple. Just follow that. If you're not wanting the fat loss thing, follow that plate method and you should be on to success. If you're losing fat and you don't want to lose fat, then you might want to look into calories. Eating calories can be quite difficult on the brain. It's not something that I recommend people to do. Got fat loss. This is a calorie deficit. You might have heard this before. It is a good tool to use, but you need to be able to ensure that you're eating enough food. So many people go into counting calories for fat loss, and they reduce their calories way too low, and they lack their energy, and they kind of screw up how they're going to get out of that and maintain. People eat too little calories essentially. So if you want help from a calorie counting perspective, I would recommend that you reach out to me. Pop it in the comments below. Myself or Michelle, my business manager, we can help you calculate your calories correctly so you're going to be eating enough. Often the calorie counting apps, so things like MyFitnessPal, NutriCheck, that kind of thing, actually do go under what you should be eating. So we want to make sure that you're going to be eating enough so that you can still drop the fat that you want to, but so that you have enough energy to just live your life. We don't want any hungry people out there. We want you to be able to function correctly. We don't want you to be causing damage to your body. So counting calories in that respect. Then we have surplus calories. So again, I would recommend that you are eating in surplus if you are wanting to build muscle. And this is where counting calories I actually do recommend if you struggle to eat enough. Because you can count and make sure that you're hitting the right amount of calories for you. Protein is so important. So when you're counting your calories, you do need to make sure that you are counting your protein as well when it comes to eating in a surplus to building that muscle. The reason for this is because you want to be adding muscle into your body, not just fat. When you are counting in a surplus, you're probably going to add some fat into your body, but what we want to do is keep that to a minimum so that you aren't building too much fat and that you're building enough muscle there. Otherwise, if you don't get enough protein in, you're not eating the right types of food, you're probably just going to put a decent amount of fat on, which isn't going to be great for your skeletal frame. And the third way is maintenance. So maintenance comes from when you've reached your goal, whether it is you've built the muscle that you want, or you've put the weight on that you want to, or you've lost the weight that you want to, or you might have come to a stagnation when it comes to your fat loss. You'll probably have to go into a maintenance zone. So this is where we can calculate your maintenance calories, and you sit at that for a little while. Wanting to continue your fat loss journey, then you will stay at maintenance for a little while once you've hit that stagnant kind of weight, and then you'll reduce it. This is where I would definitely recommend that you do work with a coach. I do take on one-to-one clients. If you do need help from a nutrition perspective, this is where I can help. We can look at your weight, we can look at what you're eating. I can hold you accountable and motivated, but also making sure that you are doing everything in a safe, sustainable way. So I would recommend that. If you do want a coach, I can help you out. Let me know. Calories, all good. So we've talked about your goals, what's going to motivate you in that respect. We've talked about measuring success. We've talked about your nutrition. Now I want to talk about accountability and motivation. One of the big things in terms of success for whatever goal you might have is community. And this is why I want to run this challenge within my Facebook group, because you can show up. And this is what I want you to do. I want you to show up every single day and let us know how you're getting on. You need to tell us how you're getting on. Whether this is you doing a video of you doing the exercises that are prescribed every day, whether you just show up and you say, day 2, done, tick, happy, done that way. Whatever it is, I want you to show up. As soon as you stop showing up, you feel like you're not being watched. You will be getting a daily email if you have signed up. If you've not signed up, check the link below and sign up. You don't have to sign up within a certain time frame. It'll just kick in and you'll get the daily emails, and then you can show up in the Facebook group and let us know how you're getting on. If you are struggling with accountability and motivation from a free challenge, I would recommend that you do invest in yourself. And this is why I have scrapped the skills. This is why online memberships exist. This is why this is why coaches exist, is because you putting a monetary value on your health does help from accountability perspective. But I understand that money can be a bit tight, or you might want to see the value in Scrap the Skills. This is why I have an introductory offer of $4 for your first month. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So if you are interested in joining in for $4 for your first month, where you will get some other exercises prescribed to you as well. You will get other exercises prescribed to you, so it's not just the legs, bums and tums. We'll be working on other things. You will get the daily reminders within the app to post your food within the private Scrap the Skills community. By posting your food, I give you coaching on that. You will get reminders for your results check-in. So what we talked about in terms of measuring success, you'll get all those reminders there. And so much more within that community as well. So just $4, if you're like, I probably could do with a bit of monetary investment there, I would recommend. So if you are interested, comment below. Just comment below, I'm interested in Scrap the Skills, give me more information, and we can give you that information right there. Right, if you've not signed up to the challenge, sign up below in the comments. I'm really excited to get you all going, and I will speak to you all very soon. Bye guys.